Okay. Starting again. Looking at my reference. I start with a V shape. And my wobbly line. Going a little out of the ice cream. And a nice curve starts off from this side, but stops. Then I have another wobbly line. Kind of goes across. Clear enough? And we have another curve here, which stops somewhere here. Then we have another wobbly line going with a bulb of juicy, what looks like mango to me. And it has a little extension and a curve. You know what I'm going to do? Because my book, now the way I have drawn it, I did not leave too much allowance for the top. Okay. So I'm going to stop my wobbly line soon. I'm going to just have one more scoop on top and that's it. I'm going to stop with that. If you have space on your book, go ahead and add one more scoop as you see in the picture. But it's up to you. Really, you can put as many scoops as you want on this ice cream. So I'm going to stop with this last scoop over here. And because this is my last scoop, I'm going to complete that scoop. Okay. So my ice cream has got 4 scoops on it. If you can fit 5, please go ahead and fit 5. Okay. Now, when I was first trying this out, I was actually drawing these lines in pencil. But what I realized is these pencil marks don't go later on. So let's not draw this in pencil. We'll draw it in paint later. So don't draw anything on your waffle, on the waffle cone. Okay. For now, we are going to put our first layer of washes. First of all, has everyone got the shape? Okay. Does the shape look good on your
Yes.
Yes? Okay, perfect. So I'm going to put the first round of wash because it has to dry. And only after it dries can we go with the second round of washes, right? So while this dries, we will go and draw our second ice cream. So what colors do you think we should put to make up our cone? Does everybody have the watercolor set that I have here?
Ma'am, I have bigger.
Do you have this?
Ma'am, I have like this.
Okay, all right. I think that should work, Kabir. Do you have yellow ochre in your watercolor set?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, perfect. Then just take now what we are doing in the first round is very, very light wash. What you mean by light wash is we have more water here than we have color. Okay, so don't put too much of color. The moment you put too much color, it'll become a dark yellow ochre. We want light yellow ochre. So don't add white, just add more water. See, can you see how light it has become? Creamy light. Okay. What color is this? Yellow ochre. Okay. I'm going to put that here. This is a yellow ochre wash. So it's a very light wash. I'm going to write that down so that anyone who misses it out knows what it is. Yellow ochre wash. I'm writing wash simply because it tells you that it is very light. Okay. Now what do we do with the yellow ochre? We apply it along the edges of the cone, the waffle cone. Apply it first along the edges. Okay. And apply it also under the ice cream, just under the scoops. See, like this. Got it? So even if your yellow ochre gets a little dark, don't worry. The first application, even if it's a little dark along the edge, it's fine. After you put on the edges, what do? Don't take any more paint. Okay? With this same paint which is in your brush, just spread it in the center. Now what happens when you spread it in the center? Your cone will start looking darker on the 2 sides, but in the center, it will not be very dark. See? Can you see how mine looks? Mine is darker along the edges. See? But it is not very dark on the in the center. Got it? That's the effect we want. You know why we want this effect? Can anyone tell me? Why do we want a little darker along the edge and lighter on the center? Anybody knows?
Ma'am, to make it look 3D.
That's correct. Perfect. So it's a three-dimensional shape, and conical means it has a curve on both sides, right? Both these sides curve. So to give that three-dimensional effect, you have to make it slightly darker on the edges where it curves. Got it? Simple? Now, since this is wet, we should ideally not paint these two colors. What will happen if we paint them right now?
Ma'am, it will smudge.
Correct. Perfect. So we are going to start with the topmost one. And the topmost one in my picture here is, because I have only 4, I'm going to go with pink. What color will I take from the palette now if I want pink? I have a nice gentle shade, which is pink. You have to take very little of it and apply more water to it. It is called crimson. On my palette, this is this shade. Crimson it's called. Now remember, we are using all our colors in a wash consistency. It's a light pink. More water, less color. Okay, so I'm taking crimson. Apply it again only on the top scoop. Remember, the top scoop has a little bit of a frill over here. Make sure you're putting it on the frill also. Huh? There you go. Not sure if this is too bright. Can you see this? Can you see the pink? So I'm going to show this, write this down as crimson wash. While this is drying, let's get on to the next picture. Which one shall we do next? Anybody wants to do, anyone has a preference?
Ma'am, maybe we could do like what's it called? Like light yellow color, like lemon yellow or something.
No. Yeah. Colors, no. I was talking about which other ice cream shall we do?
Oh, I don't know.
Shall we do this one? This looks cute. Oops. This ice lolly?
Yeah.
Yeah?
And can you show the other
All right.
as well?
What happened?
Can you show the other ice creams as well?
Okay, other ice creams we have, hold on. We have the same ice lolly, but in single colors, okay, with a bite. We should consider doing one with a bite. Then we have this. This is an easy one, and it's really nice to draw. So we can definitely do this one. Okay, so that's 2. Then we have one which we have to do with a swirl. Okay, so tell me which one in order, because we're going to have to do all of them at some point or the other.
We should do the swirl first since that's going to take time, but it's harder. So
Okay, let's try the swirl. So for the swirl, the concept, the shape is the same as what you did right now. So let's go to the side of this first drawing. And this time, maybe we can make, at least for me, my page is quite, I've drawn the first one very big. Let me just show you how my paper looks, how my book looks. So I made my first ice cream a little too big. You probably should not have to make it so big. Oops. Yeah. Okay, see how big I made it? It's like almost as big as my hand. Yeah. So let's not make the second ice cream so big. Let's make it a little smaller. We'll fit it over here. Okay, the swirl. So we are going to make another V. Okay, that's simple enough. Now the swirl is a little, what shall I say? I won't say tricky, but you have to observe a little more. Mm. Let me keep that here. Okay. What you have to observe is in a swirl, we have no, our minds will tell us exactly what is happening with the swirl. It is going around and it's coming up onto the second layer, and in the top layer, it just goes and picks off. Correct? We know that. But when we are drawing this, a lot of other things come into play. First of all, remember, we have to put some shadows under each layer to demarcate that one layer is over and the next layer is coming up. Okay. So these are the things that we have to pay attention to. So instead of looking at this as an ice cream which you're going to eat and which you have seen how they swirl it, I mean, how the swirls are formed, let us look at it as shapes. Okay. Let us look at this shape. Can you see the bottom shape? It feels a bit like a pizza slice, correct? Little triangular. Okay, so we have to fit over here something that looks a bit triangular. And this is just a guide. Huh? Don't draw it dark. This is just a guide for us. Then we have to fit another not so triangular piece. It is almost rectangular. Okay, on top of that. And on top of that, we have another triangular piece. So this is the shape of your ice cream. Shape. And here I'm talking about just the shape of like a very, what do you call it? Very crude shapes. Now we're going to add all the nicer, finer details. Okay. So in this one, for example, let's add the curve. So there's a curve here, one more curve here, one more curve. And then in these curves, you have, see, have a look at this. This line that goes like this. And there's a line that goes like this and turns, and one that goes horizontally. Okay. So put those lines in. Next, we will put the shape of the next layer. So there's a curve here, curve here. Doesn't have to be exact. Nothing has to be exact. There is no one going to check this ice cream and say, well, this ice cream doesn't look like that. No, no one's going to look at it. I'm just giving myself a nice guideline there. See? So I can see the lines that are forming, the swirls there. So my shapes are coming through. And finally over here, I have a line that comes here like this and curves and joins over here. See? Can you see that swirl there? And there's one more line here that curves and comes here. And right on top is a little curve. See, we've given ourselves more shape. At this point, I would like to say, I mean, I'm not one for erasing, but because I've drawn this very dark, I'm going to take the kneadable eraser and just make it light. Okay. Hopefully you don't have to do that because you drew it lightly. If you've drawn it lightly, there's nothing to worry. Oh, by the way, forgot. Our cone here is like that waffle cone that they wrap. So we have to leave a curvy line over here to indicate that waffle cone. Same thing over here, a slight curve over here. Keep that in mind, okay? Now I'm going to lighten this with my kneadable eraser. It's way too dark. Before we start coloring this one, I'm going to ask you to go back to the first one and put a few more layers, because this one's dry. This is also dry. Let's consider putting this and this because they don't touch each other. I'm drawing it a little dark so that you all can see. But actually, when you're drawing it at home, please draw it lightly. Yeah. Shall we color these two in? According to my colors here, okay, according to my colors here, we have to go in with pink, yellow, purple and blue. There's a mix. And there is a pink and yellow mix. Okay. So let's go with the yellow. Yellow, we are going to take Gamboge. The color is Gamboge. Do you have this yellow on your palette? Gamboge. It's not lemon yellow. And in case you don't have lemon Gamboge, just take lemon yellow and put one little bit of red or orange to it. It will become Gamboge. See, I'll show you what Gamboge looks like. Okay, it's not as light as lemon yellow. This also, please don't put it dark. Make it light with a little water. And let's apply it on this part here. Hopefully all of your first layers are dry, and this yellow will
Which
not
color
mix
is
with
that?
the gamboge. Do you have gamboge?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let's take gamboge and wash consistency. That means more water, less color,
Which one is
less paint.
gamboge?
Gamboge is this one. See here. I don't know if you have that palette or not. I mean this this
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
You have it? This is gamboge. The one above it is lemon yellow. So I'm just writing this down. We have used gamboge.
I think U comes in Gambuge.
What is that?
I think a U comes after O in Gambuge.
Oh, is it? I don't. Oh, let me just check. I'll check the. I was quite sure it was. Oh, let me check. It's there in that sheet. No, it says gamboge. BOG. Okay. Now onto our color at the bottom, which will not mix with the yellow, and that is, it is a pink with a yellow. Okay. Now this is be a little careful with this. Now already we had some yellow, right, which we made the gamboge. Start with that one on top. Just apply a little bit of that here. Okay, just on the top. Then wash your brush off. Remove all water. I mean, remove all paint. That will be a clean brush. Okay. Then with that clean brush, just wipe under the yellow. So what will happen? It will become light. Correct? Again, wash off your brush. Now we don't want any yellow on it. Go to that pink shade we had. This pink, crimson wash. Go to that pink and just start underneath over here. And that's it. Apply the rest of that pink to the bottom. Finished. So now you have a two shaded scoop with a little yellow and a little pink. Now we again give this some time to rest. While this is resting, we can do this part, the waffle. Now this part I would like you all to genuinely observe what I'm doing, not follow along with me. Just observe first, then do it yourself. You'll be able to do it easily. Okay? It's very simple. But first observe. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the same yellow ochre wash we had. Okay? Same color. To this, I'm going to add a little bit of either, I will just say brown. You know this, what brown is this? Burnt umber. Just take a little bit of burnt umber and straight away your gamboge will start becoming little darker. Okay, now observe what I'm going to do. All of these are squares. Everybody notices they are squares, right? So we are going to draw these squares, and these squares are actually darker than the in-between lines. Okay. So we are going to draw a set of squares. Now see how I draw it. I'm not drawing it horizontally, sorry. I'm drawing it with a little curve. So let me start over here. Okay, I'll start with the smallest one over here. A square, one more square, and stop. I'll take it again. Watch again. Now my next layer of squares have to be exactly on top of this. One more square, one more square. See how light they are? And one more square. Can you see? Now you can start doing this exercise. Keep watching how my squares are looking and how your squares are looking. The square sizes will not change. They will not become larger and smaller. They will remain the same. And all the squares have to stack one on top of the other. Okay? So try your best to stack them one on top of the other. Anybody has trouble with this? Tell me. I can explain this again.
What are the colors, ma'am?
Yellow ochre. I'll write it down here. Yellow ochre and burnt umber. It's again wash consistency. That means you have more water, less paint. Okay, so yellow ochre.
White things here.
Sorry, someone saying something? I can't hear. Plus burnt umber. Okay. Now, as you come to the bottom, I still have 2 layers at the bottom to fit. You will notice that the space is getting less and less. So my whole square is not going to fit. See, I only managed to fit 2. Now, only a part of the third square can be seen. So remember to make that adjustment. See, now my second square also has become partial and my third square also has become partial. But all my squares are in line. Yeah. Does anyone need a little bit more explanation or help with this? And slowly, can you see how your cone is starting to form? This is a kind of negative painting. Good fun it is. Good fun. Now see, my 3 squares is becoming 4 squares because my cone is getting wider and wider. So now more squares have to be added. So I have 3.5 squares. Then it will become almost 4 squares. Excuse me. And there, my 4th square is becoming bigger. Now I have to add a little bit of a square on either side. See, 1/5 square is coming here. Don't look at your reference photo and count how many squares are in the reference because we are now just giving the effect of a cone. Okay. So you don't have to worry that, oh, there are 7 rows and 8 rows and 10 rows. Not to worry. It's looking like an ice cream and that's all that matters. We don't need to replicate the reference photo identically. Okay. So now how many? I have 6 squares. I think I have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. 2 are partial. How's it looking for y'all? Is it looking like an ice cream now? Finally, like a waffle? It is? Good fun, no? So we're going to use the same concept even in the swirl one, okay? Only difference is that the waffle squares are going to be a little wonky because it's after all folding over each other, okay? So keep that in mind. Shall we let it dry and go on back to our waffle here? That's if you all have finished. If you all have not finished, I'm willing to wait. Don't worry. Meanwhile, I'll keep my next color ready. I have a purple, a funny purple. This looks like those bubblegum ice creams, you know, bubblegum flavors, blue and purple. So if in case you do not have purple on your palette, camel palette, I know I don't. You can simply create that purple by mixing ultramarine blue. Ultramarine blue is here, sitting here in the middle of the 3 blues. I have so little of ultramarine blue left now. Okay, ultramarine blue and a little bit of crimson. Little bit, not too much. The moment you add more crimson, it will become very pink. We just want a purplish shade. So let me put a little bit more crimson. So put crimson very gently into ultramarine blue. There. I think it looks purplish to me. Yeah. Okay. Now we have two colors. One is purple and the other is a nice light blue. So there is something called cerulean blue. Have you seen cerulean blue here? It's right under or right near ultramarine. Cerulean blue is here. So if you make that mix over here, it's a light blue, see? Nice aqua blue. Keep that also ready. Why are we keeping it ready? Because when we are applying two colors, both colors should be wet and ready. By the time you go and make the second color, the first color will start, it'll start drying. Shall we go on to that last scoop of ours? Yes? Or are we still doing the waffle?
We can do the next scoop, ma'am.
Perfect. Okay. So with the purple that I have ready over here, I'm going to apply. Actually, you know what? I should not apply purple. Let me apply blue because it's a lighter shade. I'm going to start with blue. Where does my blue start? It sits under this yellow, gently coming in from the right side. Bring it nicely into the ice cream, into the scoop. Okay, so we are halfway through the scoop in blue.
Ma'am, which blue?
Cerulean blue. It's here under ultramarine is cerulean blue. Okay. And while your cerulean blue is still wet, go back to that purple that you made. Remember that purple we made? And start applying it right where it joins. See, like this. So when it is wet, nothing will happen. Like it will not start doing funny things. It will just blend together like friends, like good friends. They'll just sit there quietly, blending nicely. And by the time you come to the leftmost end, your purple will be fully purple, no longer blue. There you go. See? I like the ice cream the way it is already. This is ideally our first layer of wash. Okay. On top of this, we are going to add all sorts of darker shades, colors, and it's going to become more and more realistic. But this is called your first wash. Okay, on to the, oh, before I continue, let me put these in the list. One was cerulean blue. This was cerulean blue. And this was this is ultramarine blue plus crimson. Okay. Everybody knows the drill. For the waffle cone, we are going to put yellow ochre, okay, in a wash consistency all over the cone. So here's my cone. Apply on the edges first. On the edges first, which are the darkest. Then, with whatever paint is left on your brush, just spread it out into the middle section. Now we have to leave this to dry because our cone now has got a dual color. So pink and white. So we have to be a little careful. If we start applying our pink over here, it's going to mix with the base of the cone. So let's leave that to dry. Okay. Now let's start embellishing our topmost pink. You remember what color this was? Crimson. Okay, this was crimson. This time you're going to take crimson, but a little darker crimson. So let me show you what I mean by darker. See, can you see the difference between this crimson and this? It's the same crimson. The difference is just that this is light because it has more water. This is darker because it has less water. It has more paint. That's the only difference. It is the same crimson color. Okay. And now, very carefully with the tip of your brush, run that crimson color the base of your scoop. Okay. You will also run that same crimson along the edge of your scoop. Wipe off your brush without water, nothing. Just wipe it on a tissue and spread it out. Okay. So now it's looking like your cone is darker on this side.
Ma'am, what did you do again?
I took crimson, the same crimson that we used, but with a little more paint so that it became slightly darker. Can you see the shade, the darker shade?
Yeah.
Yeah. So take that darker shade and put it underneath the pink scoop. Just a thin line under the scoop. Okay. And then you will take that same crimson and apply it along the left side curve. Just one layer over there. Then wipe your brush away with this rag and spread whatever leftover paint is there onto the rest of your scoop. I'm going to do the same exercise again for the bottom scoop. That's also pink, by the way. So crimson, see, only at the bottom. And then on this side, remember we have a yellow color, so we have to be careful. We can't put on the entire scoop. We only can put in at certain places. So I'm only putting it on the left side here, wiping my brush. Why do I wipe the brush? Because I don't want any more of that pink paint to be present on my brush. And then I just rub it a little bit. It spreads the paint. See? So now it's got a slightly darker portion here. Any idea why the dark portion? Who knows why we are dark here and not on this side? Because we have a scoop sitting on top, right? It's causing a shadow, right? Now, same way like we did for this exercise, we are going to put some dark colors for the yellow. Which yellow was it? Do you remember? It was gamboge. Remember gamboge? Gamboge is that middle yellow over here. Yeah. Now you're going to add a little bit of orange. Can you see this orange over here next to the gamboge? Take a little bit of that orange, just a wee bit, and mix it into your gamboge. What will happen? Your gamboge will start looking a little orangey. And you're going to do the same thing like you did for, by the way, I'll put it here so you can see the difference. See? So you have wash and you have darker than wash. And put it underneath your, at the bottom of your yellow color. See? You will also put it on this side where there's a slight shadow.
Oh, it's looking so nice, Abir.
Sorry?
Oh, hi, Susan. Sorry. His mic was on.
That's okay. Okay, and we have a little bit of color here. And what's the next thing we do? Wipe off the paint on your rag. Just wipe it off, dab it, and with whatever leftover paint is there, just spread it onto the other side. This is a nice way to ensure that you don't overdo the dark color. Otherwise, what's going to happen? That same dark color is going to go everywhere, and then we will not have shading. Got it? Finally, we are on to our purple. Now my purple is over, so I'm going to make a little more purple, which is basically crimson and ultramarine blue. There you go. Okay, that's my purple. It is a darker shade. You can see that. Can you see my darker shade of purple? It's looking so dark on my screen, but it's actually darker shade. Let me see if my light is not there. Okay, slightly darker shade of purple. It's all pooling out here. That's why it's looking dark. Okay. Shall we do the same exercise? Now remember, you are only applying it to half your ice cream scoop, sorry, half your scoop, because the rest of it is blue. So don't forget that. Only to half. Wash off your brush. Take cerulean blue and continue. Take cerulean blue and continue. Now, unfortunately, you don't have any more purple left on your brush. So finish off the cerulean blue blending first. Okay, blend this nicely. And then wipe your brush. Dip a little of the purple and blend this also. That's it. It's okay for the dark and the light to look dark and light because that's how the shadow on the ice cream is. See? Let this dry and let's get on to our swirls because we're not going to finish our swirl. There's a swirl gone. Okay. For the swirl, we only need two colors. One is white and the other is pink. But remember, in watercolor, white is not really a color. I mean, we don't really show the white. In watercolor, what do we do when we want to show white on something? We leave the paper white, correct? We don't apply white. Normally in poster color, crayons, all that, what do? We actually color white on top of something. But in watercolor, if you want white, you have to keep the paper without coloring. And that's your white. Okay? Today, because we have some white, how do we know it is white? Does anyone want to volunteer a guess? How do I know that this is white and this is not yellow or some other color? That's right. Perfect. So it's the shadow that tells you that this is white. So can you see that gray line in between? Every swirl, there's a gray line. So what is the color we have to apply? If the paper is going to be white, what is the color that we have to apply? Gray. Correct?
I didn't want to leave it white. I just made it a lighter pink on the other side.
That is also fine. That is also perfectly fine. But those who want to leave it white, I'm going to teach you how to apply gray. Okay? So, how do you make gray in our watercolor set? Very light gray, we are making. It's very simple. Take brown. This is what brown? Burnt umber. Take a little bit of burnt umber. Very little. See, our gray can't be dark. If it becomes dark, what will happen? That white vanilla is going to look like some gray, dirty vanilla, which we don't want. We want an absolutely lovely halka sa gray. Okay?
What do we have to do?
We will mix burnt umber and ultramarine blue. Okay? But so little burnt umber and so little ultramarine blue that there is more water. More water and very little paint. So shall I show you how it looks on the paper? Before you apply anything on the ice cream, please look at it on the paper. It's very important. See. Can you see the color? It's looking dark, but let me just lift it up. It's because of the glare of this thing. Can you see how gray it is? It's so light. In fact, if I clean my brush and I pick up the gray, see, it's going to dry like this. So light. Can you see how light it is? So make sure that whatever you're making of your gray, it has more water and very little gray. Those who don't want to do all this mixing up of two colors, you can also choose to make gray with just black. Put one small tiny dot of black in water and you will get gray. Sorry? Now I'll wait for all those who are making their grays. Tell me when your grays are ready because now we are going to apply gray.
Mine are.
Are you ready? Okay, perfect. Abir is ready. Take a thin brush and we are only going to use the tip of our brush, okay? And you're going to make some thin strokes. So where do you see gray? You see one here and one here. So let's do that there. One and one. It turns like this and that's it. Over here, the next gray is on this side. See, over here. Okay. So let's do that nicely in gray. Are you all able to see the gray on my screen? You can? Okay, good. Again, dip in a little water. We want very, very light gray.
Ma'am, I have to go right now. I have some work to do.
Sure,
Like,
sure, sure.
okay,
You
ma'am.
can check out the recording, okay?
Yeah, okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
All right. We are now down 2 levels of gray we have done. Now one more layer of gray. We only have one swirl on this side. So one curve here, one small swirl here, and one at the end. That's it. Gray over. Simple enough. Not difficult, no? Now, right now, it looks like a vanilla ice cream, huh? Fully like a vanilla ice cream. We haven't added our strawberry to it. What will we add for strawberry? Which color?
Ma'am,
We're
can
going
I
to
make
add.
my ice cream a different color? I can't get the gray right.
Absolutely, absolutely. What color are you going to?
I accidentally created brown, so I'll use brown, I guess.
Okay, yeah. Yours is going to be a chocolate ice cream then. That's a good thing about ice cream. We have ice cream in all flavors, so don't worry. Okay, now our next color is going to be crimson with a little bit of red. Okay, and why am I doing this? Because everything is looking too pinky pink. I'm going to change the shade of the pink and make it crimson with a little scarlet. Red is scarlet on our this thing. So I'm going to write here crimson plus scarlet. By the way, this was ultramarine blue plus burnt umber. And I'm going to insist that this was a wash so light that it is more water. Okay, come on. Let's apply our watery shade of crimson and scarlet. Okay, now apply carefully. First of all, please check if your gray has dried. Huh? Otherwise, my vanilla and my chocolate strawberry are going to become complete mix. Okay, now let's follow the direction in the picture. Small line here. Okay. It goes up a little bit. Swirls down here. Okay. Now I'm leaving a few white lines. Can you see these few white lines I'm leaving? You can leave those white lines. Don't always think that you have to fill it up, okay? Sometimes we get so used to filling up one color everywhere. We don't realize that actually it's nice even if you left some white spaces. So now I'm being very careful. Look at the shape. Okay, so look at your picture and the shape and then fill up the rest. Okay, here also I'm leaving some white lines. See, I'll leave a little white here, little white here, just a wee bit. Excuse me. All right. And let's leave this to settle down. Meanwhile, let's make our waffle. Yeah, waffle, everybody's become an ace at waffle, I think. So let's try and make that waffle. What is the color we will use for our blocks, for the dark parts of the waffle, square of the waffle? It is yellow ochre and burnt umber. What is this? Here, I have it here. Yellow ochre and burnt umber. So mix a little bit of yellow ochre. And in fact, this cone is a little darker than our earlier cone. So if you want to put little bit more paint and less water, that is perfectly fine. Now keep your picture there because our squares are going to be a little funny. First of all, we have a square here. They're going sideways, right? Then there is squares on top of it, also going sideways. And then finally, like triangles are left. Only triangles are left. Okay. So that part of the curve, you got it? I think my waffle is getting
Ma'am,
a little...
what color of the waffles?
Waffle is yellow ochre and burnt umber. Yellow ochre and burnt umber. Okay. I just made sure that it had it has water also, of course, but a little less water than for this one. This one, it was a lot of water. We kept it very light. This one, I'm making it little darker. That's all. Okay. Now we're going to go in and put the next set of squares, but these are at a different angle. So look at the angle. Now we want to go like this.
Colors
So,
are these?
sorry,
Which colors are these?
yellow ochre and burnt umber. Do you have yellow ochre and burnt umber? There. See? Now, once you put one layer of squares, no, then everything else falls very easily after that. Very simple. Just follow the same line of squares. See, I changed my direction and I got one set of squares and that's it. Now I'm just going to follow these squares. Now you can forget your photo reference and just start putting squares. I told you, no, what you have to pay attention is how your cone is shaping up. So sometimes your square is starting to get less and less, and another square is starting to get more and more. So keep that in mind. Now, that is very important. Don't keep on making the same set of squares. Then it will not have that curved appearance that you need. Okay. So pay attention to that. Oh. Is everyone still here? Oh, yeah. Sorry, I got kicked out, I think. Does anyone have a question about these things? The ones that we have done? Now looks like we don't have the time to do our other desserts. Now this last part, there's a small little sliver of curve. Can you see the small sliver over here? What we're going to do is we are going to just put some dark color over here and end it. Got it? Can you see the gap I've left? One small little sliver of light color. That's it. One more thing I will do, just because we have not done it, is draw this line with a, so we can see the shape. Okay, so our strawberry ice cream is turning out quite well. We have one last thing to do, and that is to put the shading on the pink, because right now it's looking like just a blob of pink. So what was our pink over there? It was crimson and scarlet. Okay, so I'm taking the same crimson and scarlet. There you go, crimson and scarlet. I'll just put a little water. Don't want to make it too dark. And now we're going to look at our picture and just apply at the dark places. Now look at it, everyone look at the picture. Can you see that in this pink, the darkest is over here? Yes. And then there is one dark portion here. Then there is one little piece here, one little piece here, one little piece. So look for those dark portions and only put in those places. Okay. Observe your picture and do it. Oops. Yeah. Okay, that's one. And there's a little bit here. Over here, see this, look at this, over here. Okay. Then a little bit under here. This is very important. We've got some dark shades over here. See, little bit here, little bit underneath here, and definitely over here. Correct? Where else do we have? Ah, here. This is definitely another place. See? And little bit here. There you go. That's it. And by doing just that, look at the difference on your in your ice cream. Isn't it cool? Look at that. I'm most impressed. Okay, last few touching up bits on this one. Thin brush, and we are going to put just a few lines there. Okay, just a few lines on this. See, can you see these lines over here? See these little lines? And this is crimson, by the way. Yeah? This is the same crimson that we were using. Can you see these lines? Same way, you will find a few lines over here. Let's just add them in. This one is a long one. Short ones are here. For the yellow one, I would recommend now no using gamboge and no using orange. Go to yellow ochre. There's some yellow ochre. Yellow ochre is a good color to put all these lines. See? It's just right for these little dashes. Then we have a little bit of purple. Mind you, you'll notice that I'm using just the tip of my brush. Huh? Just applying a few dashes. Only the tip of, don't press down your brush. And when you come to the blue, change to cerulean blue and put a few dashes of cerulean blue. There you go. I'm not putting too much over here because it's, I don't see too many lines over there. So I don't want to put too much of, maybe just like a small few lines. That's it. Enough. Does anyone want to put sprinkles? There's two ways to put sprinkles. If you want to put sprinkles, take a pencil, color pencil. Okay. Take a color pencil and put your sprinkles with color pencil. Just put little dashes, 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 dashes everywhere. Okay. All right. For those who want to do color pencils. Those who want to do normal brush and pen, take the tip of your brush and apply small lines like this. See? But only after everything has dried. Huh? Please don't do it before. See, like this, like this. Put like little dashes. I'm taking a little orange. This is entirely optional. Those who don't want to do it, don't do it, please, because yeah, you may not want sprinkles on your ice cream. Okay, that's it. How's it looking? Can I see some of your ice creams? All right, Abir. Oops. Let me just see. Oh, Sia, is this? Yeah, Sia's. Hold on. Let me just see. Hold on, Sia. Hold on. Let me replace spotlight. Ooh, nice. Oh, you tried the other one too. Super. Fabulous. Good, good, good. Okay, Abir, let's see yours. Very nice. That is good. That is really good. You know, you can make that a card for someone. You can put a nice big ice cream on it and say, here's your birthday ice cream from me. All your favorite flavors. Yeah. All right. Anyone else wants to show? Oh, who's that? Kabir? Let me see Kabir's. Hold on. Replace spotlight. Oh, nice. Yours is a chocolate ice cream. Very nice. Super. Well done. I think everyone's waffle cones are excellent. Huh? I really like your waffle cones. Awesome. Kyra, how's yours looking? Pretty? Let me see. Hold on. Replace spotlight. Oh, yeah. Very pretty. I like your pink ones. Huh? Very nice. Super. Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy your...
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's good. Awesome. So I know we weren't able to finish the other two ice creams, but they're very simple. You can easily try these out. The only thing I would tell you is when you're drawing these shapes, make sure that after your first wash, you put that dark color in between. That is important. Okay? Those lines in between, that is important. Okay? That's all you need to do. And the biscuit is very simple, right? That I think all of us can do it very simply. It's just rectangle and another rectangle below and another rectangle under that. Okay. If you want, we can, do you want to do these next time or shall we go on to something else? Something else?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. So give this a try. I know Sia has already tried it, but you all can also give this a try. Okay. And fill up the rest of your page with these. Got it? All right. I will see you next week. If you all have any suggestions, otherwise next week I was thinking of doing leaves, not just simple leaves, leaves with shadows under them.
Shouldn't we continue one topic this month?
Sorry?
Won't we continue one topic this month? Like we did a fruit basket and now we did ice cream. So it kind of
I
seems
think
like sweet thing.
next Tuesday, next Monday is still June. Is it still June?
I'm not sure. Ma'am.
I think
Yes,
it
I
is.
think it is. It's 30th.
It's 30th, no? Okay.
I have
We
to go
could
now.
continue. Yeah, go ahead. I think maybe then we can consider doing some other food item. You want to continue with food? Yeah, we can do some other food item. I mean, if you have any ideas, tell your mamas to put it on the chat.
Can we do Garfield?
Garfield, oh wow. Yeah, why not? Let me just check out if I can find some good examples of Garfield. You want to draw Garfield? He's got some really funny faces. Yeah, why not? Okay, let me check it out. Okay, if I can do Garfield, we'll do Garfield. Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thank you,
See
ma'am.
you. Bye.
No,